Okay, so we're gonna do a driving video. So we're right here in front of Broadway Casino, Galaxy Casino, and I'm not sure exactly where we're gonna go because I just want to see what we can see that looks interesting. So let's get it started, and I think we're basically gonna go into Taipa though. We're basically in around Cotai and Taipa. So okay, let's go check it all out. Let's go check out the road. Okay, I'm the content creator for this channel. If you like what I'm doing, just subscribe and hit the like button. Okay, so here we are in Cotai. Let's see. We're gonna get into traffic a little bit and we'll just kind of drive around, give you a little taste of Macau. There's people illegally parked right there. A lot of illegally parked people. You can actually park right freely in that garage right there. It's a 3-hour free because it's casinos. But a lot of people, they don't always, they might, if I look at them a little closer, they might have China plates on. You can come into Macau with Chinese plates and it'll be like dual, be China and Macau. But I don't know, sometimes people just park illegally for all kinds of reasons here. So that's what you just saw there. And to the left, there's some new apartment buildings right there. Those just came about like 6 months ago. And then right up here is this new exchange. And this is kind of interesting because this is the first time, I saw it for the first time earlier today. And you can see up there, there's traffic up there. I'm gonna see if I can get up there. I'm not sure exactly. It's brand new. So we'll see how that looks. But I think what I'm going to try to do is go down this way and we'll just kind of see where we can find the entrance, and we'll turn around and come up and take that. I'm kind of curious myself to see what that looks like. Right now we got Venetian straight ahead of us. I think what we're going to do is go around some of these vehicles. I'll try to keep the camera on the left because there might be something interesting there later. Straight ahead is Paycoke Station. So that is the metro that serves kind of the city of, basically it goes through Taipa right now and later to go through all of Macau. To the left is Taipa Village, which you can just barely get a glimpse of it through that little pavilion yellow building structure there. That used to be where the ocean used to be at, so I think that was maybe more of like a fish market or oyster market. Taipa used to be known for oysters, but the water would come right up to here. Okay, so now the bridge is, looks like I'm gonna have to try to get around here somehow. So we're gonna try to go like this. And you're gonna get a little view of the casinos in this area. And I'm gonna try to take that bridge, kind of see what that's all about. And then straight ahead is the train line. And you can see Galaxy Casino to the right, and to the left it's kind of the Cotai Strip. There's Venetian to the left and Galaxy to the right. And straight ahead is also part of Galaxy underneath the bridge there. So yeah, now you're getting a little tour of Taipa here. Got a little bit of the Cotai Strip, and we're gonna try to take that bridge. This will be the first time for me to take this bridge that we're gonna take, and they just constructed it. It's been in the works for a while, so it's actually, there's a lot of changes in Taipa. So you know, there's a lot of foreigners who can't come into Macau. No foreigner can come into Macau. Even some foreign residents who have Macau IDs, they can't get back. There's no flights to get back. And then other ones that have like work visas or business visa and different things like that, who are not residents but they're foreigners with property here or businesses in here. They haven't been back in almost 2 years. The Macau government won't let them come back. But we have about 25,000 mainland Chinese tourists, so I guess the priority is more towards the mainland Chinese tourism money, and it's not really that interested at all in, oh, that's to the left is some Galaxy new stuff as well. They're just not really interested in all the foreign capital of money that comes in of people who are residents in, or even you know, people with work visas and business visas who are connected to the city. They're kind of neglected, unfortunately. Okay, so we're gonna take this, hopefully that all changes. So I hope they welcome back all of us foreigners who live here and work here. I've been here the whole time, so but I have a lot of really good friends, and I won't get into all the details, but yeah, we're all kind of suffering. The whole foreign community is kind of suffering. So here we are going over this bridge. It looks pretty cool. My first time on it. Yeah, it's what's really interesting about this right here. Okay, now we're gonna be going down like that. Okay, I see. Okay, so now that straight ahead is Zhuhai, China. So gradually Macau and Zhuhai, China is going to be more connected. Again, for the if you're Chinese Macau or if you're from China, it'd be more connected for you. But the foreigners, we can't go over there. We need a China visa. So even when they start breaking down the walls and the barriers, we'll still need a visa to go over there. But I think Macau people will just be able to come and go because they have something called a Chinese homecoming visa. So they'll be integrated. But for the foreign community, we'll be more isolated, away from Hengqin, unfortunately. But we'll see. Hopefully, maybe later they'll make it more friendly for the foreign residents. I especially feel bad for the Portuguese community because, you know, a lot of them they have family here. Some of them as back as like a few hundred years or even up to like 500 or 600 years, and they kind of lose access to a lot of things with, you know, all the different changes that are taking place. But what can you do, you know? Okay, so we're going to, kind of tempted. We could go a lot of different ways. We could go into Taipa, or I could take the bridge into Macau. And I think we're kind of getting more closer to going towards Macau, and the bridge does look pretty cool. So let's just take it and go up that way. And we're going to take it by taking this tunnel. There's more of the station to the right. But yeah, as a foreigner though, Macau is an amazing place. I really love it. I want to stay here and you know, contribute to the society and the city as much as possible. And I think my YouTube videos I hope they kind of show that, and I hope that we can show our worth as foreigners, you know, that we contribute to the city and to society, and that, you know, we're a good presence here. So I hope that is conveyed. A lot of foreigners here. We got Portuguese people, we got Filipino people, a lot of like British, Australians, New Zealanders, some Americans. I'm an American, for example. I don't see that many Americans, but there's a lot of Americans are being connected to the casinos or to there's another organization that was here too called House of Dancing Water, and I think they brought in a lot of really talented people from all over the world, and a lot of them are Americans that I would meet as well. I think they get kind of used to the shows in Las Vegas as well, and yeah, they're really major contribution to the city and just kind of making the city interesting. And a lot of them lost their visas too. They came in on blue cards, work visa, and then when COVID hit about almost 2 years ago now, some of them were just over in Hong Kong, or maybe they went down to Malaysia because it was, or Thailand or Philippines or somewhere. They just went away because it was Chinese New Year. It was like kind of a holiday period, and it was COVID hit 2 years ago, and then they couldn't come back. The government stopped all the foreigners from coming back, and who had blue cards, even though they had apartments and jobs and family here, sometimes family here. They couldn't come back, so that's been that way for about 2 years. So a lot of those people are left, and then a lot of them lost their jobs. The government didn't really see the need to have them, or maybe the casinos, somebody did it, and they just were not renewed and weren't able to come back. So yeah, we've seen a lot of stuff in the foreign community that's been kind of hard. So and it's been a little bit difficult because we see you know, 25,000, between 20 to 30,000 mainland Chinese tourists every day with suitcases. So they come from all over China, from, you know, whatever city they come from, and often for the first time, you know. But for the foreign community, a lot of us live and work here, and we're not allowed to come back, you know. So it's been quite a challenge. But I've been here the whole time, and I really love Macau. So, you know, I could leave as well, but this is my home, and this is where I live, and this is where I have friends and connections, and make my life here. So anyways, so if you're a Chinese person, just support the foreigners, you know, make sure that people know that, you know, we're contributing to society, and we have I think I don't really see any problems with foreigners here at all. So it's just COVID thing is kind of drawing a lot of hardships for the foreign community, but it's hard for everybody, to be honest. So, but if you're a foreigner, I get a lot of foreigners always ask me, you know, when can I come back to Macau, and the answer is always the same, is I don't see it changing anytime soon. I don't really see the government's really aware of the fact that, you know, foreigners live here and work here and have families here and apartments here and businesses here. Like, I don't think that they're really aware of it, or if they are, they see us as a COVID risk, I guess. I'm not 100% sure all the issues involved. But anyways, we're gonna keep on going around Macau and kind of getting on the Macau side. Sorry for that little monologue, but you gotta listen to something while I'm driving around, right? Might just call it driving Macau, and then maybe add something about, you know, what we're talking about here. Hardships of the foreign community, maybe? I don't know. Okay, so now we're getting into Macau side, and this is Taipa was a separate. It still is. It's an island that's connected by the bridge, but I guess like up until the 1974, I believe there was ferries that would take you back that took up to a couple hours to go back and forth. And then in 1974, I believe it was, they put a bridge to connect Macau and Taipa, and then it just stayed that way for a while. And then in the 80s, kind of a real estate boom, and I heard that that a lot of people stood in to move over there. But then later, you know, casinos started being built there. I think they started making those like in the 2000s or 2010s or something like that, somewhere in that era. Well, 2000s, I guess, because I've been here since 2013 already, and there was already a handful already there, quite a few. It was already well known. Okay, let's see. So yeah, now we're getting into Macau. So this side has been here for a long time, but to the right of me, this is all reclaimed land. To the left is all old Macau that's been there for a long time. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to go around the block, and I'm going to go down. I kind of want to see if there's we had something big happen in Macau recently. We had 3 new cases of COVID. I think there's a 3rd one just recently. There was 2, talking about 2 yesterday, and I think I saw a 3rd one today. And again, we're a little bit concerned because the first one that came in was a Macau resident from Turkey, but he came in on Singapore Airlines. But since he's he's also part of the foreign community, but a resident, he was able to come back. I don't know if I should go into all those details, but basically only some countries can come back. Some residents in certain countries could. They disallowed Turkey just a little while ago, and then there's a COVID case right away. So I feel like they might close up all the options that foreigners could have. Foreigners who have Macau residence, you know, we're like the other foreigners can't come in at all if you're on a work visa or things like that. But Macau residency means you have to be here for 7 years. You have to have a high-profile job, you know, something that has a pretty high income that shows your worth, you know, with a kind of high status to it. So that Turkish person was probably somebody like that, maybe somebody with a business and money involved in the city, and he's stranded in Turkey and came back, got COVID somewhere on a plane or something like that. I don't know. And then and he brought it in, and he infected 2 security guards that were working at his at the quarantine hotel that he was at. So they have COVID now, and I think it's 2 men from Nepal who are also part of the foreign community. They probably never left. They're probably just on work visas, and they if you're a foreigner, you can't leave Macau on a blue card, because then you can't come back until COVID is over, which feels like it could take a long time. Okay, we're gonna go down one of these little alleys so you can see the density of Macau. So this is called Hua Central, and I heard that Hua Central used to be kind of a central street for Macau, you know, a couple hundred years ago. But now it's Macau keeps growing and changing and spreading out, and it's not quite the same as it was a long time ago. Yeah, so anyways, so we got 3 new cases of COVID in a city that hardly has any COVID. So I think their number is 64, 65, 66. And I don't know, we'll see what happens. But anyways, we're going to be driving down here, and we're going to be, they made the whole city take COVID tests. So I took some COVID tests yesterday, the oral one, there's also a nasal one. And so we had the same thing happen about a month ago. There was a family from Macau that was in Xi'an, China. Her daughter was in a competition for something, and then they all extracted COVID, tested for COVID, and were positive. And then we all went the whole city had to test for COVID. So that was about a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago. So there were some pretty long lines, and at that time I filmed a couple of things up here. So I'm just gonna go by those again and just see what they look like. And if we got some long lines again today, I'm definitely 100% gonna film it. And let's find out. All of these people might be walking there now, but we'll find out. But last time the line was all the way to where these people are at. So we're gonna find out, because I'm gonna see around the corner in a second. Okay, so I see some people lined up. They're to the right. I think the camera won't be able to capture them, but I'll just take a look myself. And that line is really short. Wow, that line is really, really short. Wow, last time the line was taking about a 3-hour wait, and the line was snaking around the buildings and going. It was crazy. So yeah, I guess I won't film that today. I was thinking there'd be long lines like that again today, and I'd film, but that's not the case at all. Okay, so we're gonna go down by another one. You're also kind of getting a nice little visit, nice tour of the city and just kind of what it looks like. Yeah, Macau is a beautiful place. I really love Macau. I hope that when I say the stuff that I was saying about, you know, how the foreign community is hurting with the COVID situation, I also understand that that's all over the world, and that, you know, Macau is keeping everybody safe. So it's a little bit hard to see, you know, like 25,000 tourists every day with suitcases, and knowing that, you know, close friends and family members and people that have hardships because of the situation can't come back to their businesses, have to abandon their businesses, apartments, whatever they own and invest in the city. They can't come back. It's hard to see that, especially if you know those people. So so I'm a little bit, you know, but that's not hard. That's not against anything against Macau, because I really love the city, and I like the fact that the Macau is keeping us all safe. I just wish that there was a little bit of interest in allowing foreigners who also live here and work here and have jobs and family here. I wish there was a little consideration to let them come back if they and just do the quarantine like that's, you know, that's available to them. Okay, so I think this is another testing center straight ahead too. I drove by this last night. I didn't have the camera, but I just wanted to see it, and you can see some people in that little Instituto Salesiano. It's like they're it's like we're kind of stuck here for a minute, because there's they're dropping off somebody who's probably going to be tested. So yeah, we kind of all have to wait now. Anyway, so that's some of the updates with what's going on in Macau. And you're also kind of getting a nice driving video. We're also drove by a church. I didn't really see that. It wasn't focused on that so much with the camera. I just have the camera pegged up to the window, so so my apologies that, you know, we're kind of stuck here for a second, but we're moving now. Yeah, Macau's a beautiful city. I'm glad to make it home, and I'm glad to contribute to the city, and I'm glad to you know, show support through filming it and other stuff too, working here, and just writing about it sometimes too, of course. Yeah, and I like this. One of the things that's really special about Macau is the diversity of people. So even in the Chinese community, you have people from, you know, Macau, Hong Kong, Taiwan, all parts of China. I mean, Chinese Indonesian and Chinese Malaysian and Chinese Burmese. You know, they come from all over the place. The kind of a diaspora of Chinese that come here. Coworker who's American, Chinese, all kinds of really great people. And then of course you got like Indonesians, Filipinos. Portuguese are really cool. All kinds of Portuguese people from Brazil, from Mozambique, Angola. So we just got these really amazing mix of people here. Makes Macau really special and amazing. And then when I go to Zhuhai, I also like Zhuhai as well, but Zhuhai is almost like 99.99% Han Chinese. You know, kind of the dominant group of Chinese. Let's see. Okay, I can kind of see a line. There's hardly anybody around that line. Like, there's a line that was to the right of me. which you couldn't see. So I was going to film one of those lines, but it looks like there's not much of anything to film. So we'll just keep the camera going, and you can kind of see these narrow streets of Macau and kind of get a feel for kind of the mixture of stuff from Taipa and all the new stuff down there to Macau and what's going on inside the density of the city. Go a little bit further and then we'll probably end this video maybe at the stoplight. There's a bara. There's little barracks right there with some Muslim barracks. Again, the diversity of Macau. They brought in 100 years ago, I think, or something like that. They built that 150 years ago maybe, and then they bring in all these Indians from Goa, because Goa was also Portuguese and Macau was Portuguese, and they would be the policemen of the city, so they could kind of be like I guess because it was Portuguese and Indian would like police it, and then most of the people that lived here were probably Chinese as well, so maybe I don't know why they brought, but anyways, they all lived there, so they lived in the barracks there. And so it's kind of interesting, you know, just that mixture of all the people that were here in this little piece of land, Macau. That's one of the things I really love about it. I love the history of it, you know, just, you know, how interesting it is, the buildings, kind of, you know, seeing Portuguese everywhere. Yeah, it's just a really cool city. My phone is ringing, maybe you can hear that. Basically it's telling me that that everybody needs to go get tested. So yeah, I got tested yesterday, so yeah, actually they're worried that people are gonna all wait until the third day, because last time we did some testing, we had the lines are enormous on day 1 and 2, just so packed. Everybody was trying to just get it done and get in there and get their test, you know, be tested, make sure you didn't have COVID. So, but I'm hardly seeing anybody in the testing sites. I didn't see hardly any yesterday or today, and it started yesterday at 3 p.m. and just hardly anybody. And I did my own, and it was done in like 5 minutes. But you know, like a month ago, it took about 4 or 5 hours. So I think some people are wondering if people are just going to wait until the last minute. Anyways, that's kind of what's going on in Macau. So now you kind of know about what's going on in Macau, and you got to do a little bit of driving, and you got to listen to a little bit of the most current events that's going on. So hope you like that, and I'm probably going to turn off the camera and stop somewhere and start filming some streets, which is what I like to do most on this channel. So hope you enjoyed it. Chiquinha, chiquinha, toma cuidado da bovidinha.